Hey there, it's Shauna. I hope you're doing great. This is your weekly astrology forecast for August 7th. And this week is all about when preparation meets opportunity. Because this week, when you take the steps towards preparing for what it is that you want, there can be a certain element of luck and synchronicity that comes in. So I'll share with you the astrology of the week, and then I have 3 tips for you to have an amazing week. So the biggest event that's happening this week is we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. I spoke about this in much more detail in my previous week's video, so I'll just mention it briefly here. It's happening Monday, August 7th at 11:11 a.m. Pacific time at 6:11 p.m. Universal Time, and it's actually happening on Tuesday in Australia, Tuesday at 4:11 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. And so this lunar eclipse, because it's happening on Monday at the beginning of the week, you're most likely going to feel a sense of relief, a sense of release even Monday and Tuesday. I find that with a full moon in general, there's like this building of intensity, building up of emotion, building up sometimes of uncertainty, because this is an eclipse, which so that buildup was happening last week and the week leading up to the full moon lunar eclipse. So since this is happening on Monday, Tuesday, 7th and 8th, you may feel a sense of like the top has been taken off of the pressure cooker, so to speak, this week. So I want you to use that energy, and I'll have some more information on the tips on how to really use that and to take advantage of that. But I want you to know that it is this time to allow for a certain element of release, to allow for things to play out as they need to. The other aspect that's happening this week is that we have Mercury stationing retrograde. This will be happening Saturday, August 12th. Pacific time, and then if you're in Australia, it's going to be Sunday the 13th. So Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Virgo. It's going to actually move back into Leo, so it'll be from August 12th or 13th to September 5th. So we have several weeks to review, to retool things. Mercury rules the mind, it's your thought process, it is your ability to think about things and to create an analytical action plan. So when Mercury is retrograde, it's an internalization of that. It's where you basically think about things, and it's a really great opportunity to come up with new strategies, to get a change in perspective, and to shift your thinking on things. So I bet that you've probably read something really negative about Mercury retrograde, and sometimes little snafus and unexpected things can happen. So if you're traveling or if you're signing a lease or a contract during Mercury retrograde, don't freak out. Just make sure that you read the fine print, give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to go, and don't stress out. Like, it will be okay. The biggest thing is that there may be unexpected things that come up with new projects or with travel and things like that. So if you just account for that and don't take life so seriously, it will be okay. So there's some other aspects that are happening this week. The Sun will contact Jupiter and Saturn. This is allowing for opportunities to come in when you take the steps to prepare. And then also Venus will be trining Neptune this week, and this adds an element of creativity, and this adds it adds for more opportunities to come to you when you follow your intuition, when you follow your feelings. And so all of that wrapped together, what do we do with this week? I know that's a lot of information. So tip number 1 this week is I want you to tie up any loose ends. So anything that's been sitting on your plate for a long period of time, anything that, like, where you've been needing to get back to someone or you need to resolve something, if there's something that you can do to just like delegate that, or to get it off your plate, or to shift your responsibility, take care of that stuff this week, because when Mercury goes retrograde, we're going to be reviewing things. And so if it's not something that you want to review, then shift it off of your desk, so to speak. That's not to say that you need to get everything done this week, but I want you to be fully prepared to review the projects that are really important to you and to review the situations that are really important to you. So if it's not important and you can delegate it, or you can say, no, I don't have time for this, or whatever it is, then I want you to do that this week. So that's tip number 1, to wrap up loose ends. Tip number 2 is to, very different than this, is to allow for time to do nothing. And you can make this very strategic. So you can, take like 20 minutes a few times a week, or 20 minutes a day, or 20 minutes just sometime this week to literally do nothing. Don't check your phone, don't scroll on Instagram, don't watch TV, listen to a pod, just do nothing. So this is really important because we're just coming off of the lunar eclipse, and because there's a lot of energy this week that is emphasizing your creativity and your imagination. And so when you allow yourself some time to literally do nothing this week, ideas may just come to you, and it may give a sense of relief from all of the pressure that you've possibly been feeling this past week. This is really important, especially during the month of the eclipses, because we have 2 eclipses in August. So it's really important to allow yourself some time of mental and emotional rest. We're always doing things. There's so much pressure to accomplish and to create and to have constant output. But I want to encourage you to give yourself at least just a little sliver of time this week to not do anything, to not have to output anything, to just be. It can be incredibly restorative. I know I'm going to try that. I'm not always the best at doing that, but I'm going to do that with you. So tip number 3 is especially related to Mercury Retrograde. I want you to write a list of things that you want to review during the next 3 weeks. And take action on this now by leaving me a comment. Let me know at least one thing that you are going to review over the next few weeks with Mercury Retrograde. It can be anything you want. It can be related to work or a certain project, or something that you're just trying to figure out within your life. I don't know what it is. Share with me. Let me know what you guys are working on. And I want you to share, because that actually gets the energy moving. It gets the energy moving in your system when you share it with someone. So I would love to hear from you. So that is your weekly astrology forecast. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it with a friend. And if you want to go deeper into the astrology this week, like I said, I know I shared a lot with you guys. There's a lot going on. So if you want to geek out on it a little bit more with me and my astro friend Mel of Energetic Principles, you can listen to our podcast, The Neo-Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. And so I'll have a link to the iTunes link on that down below. And of course, I'm still offering readings. So if you want to get a personal astrology reading with me, I'll have a link down below to my website. I'm always happy to connect with you guys. And I had so much fun doing a ton of readings when I had the special in July. That was really fun for me. And I always love connecting with you. So so wishing you an amazing week and sending lots of love. I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.